a quick story. We're just going to ramble on a bit while the light show goes through. And right down the end, for the motoring enthusiast, there's a little bit of ear and eye candy as we exit the whole affair. Friday night, 20th September 2024. Just ducked down to Brisbane to check out the drone show as part of the Brisbane Festival over the Brisbane River. Now, before the drone show, and probably between the drone show, the new Star Casino, a dirty business, has a little bit of a light show of its own running across its face. So before we sat down to have a burger beside the Brown Snake, aka Brisbane River, we did head up there to the public sky deck, and the line to get up there was probably 50-60 metres long to get a lift. There were people packing in up there for the drone show, and no doubt paying exorbitant prices for the piss they were consuming. I was also in Brisbane on Tuesday the 16th. I went up there that particular day, and there was probably less than 10 people up there. So I had a bit of a walk over the glass doohickey that looks down over the freeway, a couple of exits, and I'm hearing that people are finding it terrifying. They find that terrifying, or just, I don't know what life holds for them, but height is an interesting thing. So I did that after I negotiated the very interesting public transport system that is the south side of Brisbane at the moment, with lots of rail closures and buses. I certainly toured Brisbane, and I was going to catch the bus back, and I'm sitting there at the Cultural Centre bus station, and I'm thinking, wow, fuck, I could end up in Perth here. I don't know how you folks down there work out what goes where. But anyway, I did get that sorted. So this light show is not too bad. Note the bridge in pink. Of course, they need that bridge so that you can walk your money from South Bank and the big car parks there directly into their dirty casino. Sorry, you might be picking up I'm not much of a fan of casinos. That Skydeck's up there around just under or just at the level of where that whitish light forms a bit of a dome. But what I noticed on Tuesday, so I wandered about a bit on Tuesday, went down to the front of the Queen's Wharf area, which will eventually be public space, but it's all sort of blocked off at the moment. You can get along the path. And I stopped and watched some chaps, well, theoretically working. And of course, there's been a fair bit in the news recently about a certain union. And before you form an opinion on what I think of unions, I can see the bad side and I can see the good side of unions. Try being a teacher, for example, without the support of a union. So there's 3 blokes working here. One bloke's on a mini excavator doing some digging, and there's another bloke holding a hose. So before he takes a scoop, our mate waters it down. Dust suppression, I get that. But I look around and I think, gee, there's not much here that the tiny bit of dust is going to affect. So our mate waters it down, our mate takes a scoop. Our mate puts a scoop over there, our mate waters that down. Our mate goes back and waters down a bit before he scoops. Our mate scoops, puts a scoop over there. Our mate waters that down. And I'm thinking, gee, I hope that bloke on the hose is not pulling down 200 grand. But possibility there is that he is. I do know a chap very well that was working there. Seen his pay slips. He was equivalent to about 420,000 a year on this project. His partner also worked on the site. She was knocking out 280 grand. So that's nearly 700 grand for one household. There did seem to be a lot of people in company high-vis wandering around, not gainfully employed. The third chap, he was just standing there, and given it's all gated, there's not any vehicles in there, but he was standing, getting ready to stop anyone that might have come along. You know, you hear a lot of economists and politicians talk about productivity. That's not very productive. The guy with the hose also sprayed one of his workmates walking past. Might seem minor, but in my world that would be a terminal infraction on a safety front. Many would disagree. Bit of a joke at work. Don't work these days. Especially if holding the hose was pulling down 200 grand. I'd expect a little bit more responsibility and accountability. So of course, hiding behind those pretty lights and pretty buildings, dirty business. I don't mean dirty just because it's breaking the average person that have become addicted to gambling and are gambling away their rent and grocery money. with some money laundering sinkhole. And Star Entertainment, to me, looks fairly insolvent. Its share price has stopped circling the porcelain, and it's well on its way through the S-bend. It wouldn't be something I'd want to own shares in. And of course, they were reaching out, for want of a better term, to the Queensland government for 100 million or so to get them through. Kind of hope we don't stump that up as taxpayers, but I do see that some lender of last resort or their lenders have stumped up 100 million. Now, this drone show was obviously designed to be viewable well from either side of the river, and the sky deck viewing area was chock-a-block. Wasn't going to get a camera out, but didn't. There were just people everywhere a couple of hours before the first drone show. Now, I think one of the golden rules of casinos is don't distract the punters because they stop gambling and we lose money. So not sure that having the drone show viewable from the money pits was the wisest thing on a casino business that seems to be rooted, basically. Now, here's this last little bit, a bit of eargasm, a bit of eyegasm, well, for the motoring enthusiast anyway. Unfortunately, the car park gives a bit of echo, but you have reached peak hot rod areas when you have lights that turn on underneath your vehicle, and when you put mirrors under your vehicle, it shows so that people can look up and see all your chromed underbody. But this was a good bit of kit. No way I could take it down a public car park if I owned it. But credit to this dude, he did.
There you go.